Remember, no one, and I mean no one, comes into our house and pushes us around.
Another terrific punt. Broyles says, I'm not done. Fields it at the 10. He may not be. The 30 needs a block. Broyles at the 50. Ryan Broyles, is he going to go all the way? The 10. Oh, mama, touchdown Sooners!
As you can plainly see, there's no place like home. And for the Oklahoma Sooners, make it 30 in a row and make it 7 in a row over Oklahoma State as the Sooners dominate the Cowboys 27-0. Terrific way to end what has been an injury-riddled and crazy year for the Oklahoma Sooners. Before we get into the game, I got to give props to Bob Stoops and to Brent Venables. That coaching staff made this week happen. You could tell because these guys were well prepared to play, especially on defense. And I think the defense really challenged themselves. I think Venables did an outstanding job getting these guys ready because you remember the game against Texas Tech, which Tech clearly deserved to win. But Oklahoma was just flat out outplayed in that game and then emotionally flat. We've talked about it before. You saw spirit by this Oklahoma defense. You saw them play their tails off, and Oklahoma State's offense did not stand a chance in this game. Unbelievable. 6 first downs. That's all the Cowboys had today. And the offense, although in the first half missed out on some terrific opportunities, in the second half they were able to get things going and then wear Oklahoma State's defense down. So outstanding. Now, talking about the game more specifically and Oklahoma State's offense. Look, I know that Zach Robinson was not 100% today. We knew that the shoulder was bothering him, and we knew that Kendall Hunter, even though he played a little bit in this game, was not 100% either. However, there was nothing wrong physically with Keith Toston, and absolutely nothing wrong with Oklahoma State's offensive line. One of the best in the country. All those offensive linemen except one, seniors. So this is a veteran group of Oklahoma State interior players, yet Oklahoma's defense dominated this game. That's the reason why Oklahoma won. They flat out dominated a terrific offense. Oklahoma State seeking that first BCS bid in school history, and from quarter 1 to quarter 4, Oklahoma's defense showed up to play. We know this because the Cowboys had a difficult time passing, even though Robinson may not have been 100%. Even if he were, I don't think it would have mattered because Oklahoma State's offensive line physically, there was nothing wrong with them. There were injury problems. It was Oklahoma's defense that made the Oklahoma State interior look flat out ordinary. And how about the play of Brian Jackson? Number 2, his last game at home, and he goes out a winner, breaking up several passes, both short and long. He was like Johnny on the spot. He was everywhere. I thought Brian Jackson played an outstanding game. On the offensive side, Oklahoma, again, we talked about the missed opportunities that they had in the first half, but in the second half they made amends. And I thought maybe the most impressive drive of the game was the first drive of the second half. When the Sooners were up 10-0, the game still kind of in doubt, but Oklahoma had the lead. Even though the Sooners came away with only 3 points on the drive, it's what Oklahoma did on the drive that I thought was going to be a staple for the remainder of the game. They converted several third down conversions, and they took nearly 7 minutes off the clock. They ate up nearly half of the third quarter clock. It was very pivotal because what that did, it kept Oklahoma State's offense off the field, and then by the time Oklahoma State got the ball back at 13-0, it became more and more obvious that the Cowboys were not going to have that much time to try to make a comeback happen. And in the first half, after Oklahoma State clearly had the time of possession advantage, it was just the opposite in the second half. In fact, Oklahoma overall for the game had the ball 32 minutes compared to Oklahoma State having it for nearly 28. And much of that was because of the Oklahoma offense coming up with big plays at key times in the second half. And again, Ryan Broyles, my goodness, I'm glad this guy's got 2 more years for Oklahoma because he was outstanding today. Had over 100 yards receiving. And then we talk about the cherry on top of the banana split in the fourth quarter with the game already in hand. Broyles returning a punt all the way for a touchdown, a blowout. Oklahoma with a big win and spoiling Oklahoma State's shot at the BCS. We'll talk more about Oklahoma State's bowl chances, where they're going to go for a bowl game in just a second, as well as Oklahoma's. Now let's go ahead and highlight the 4 keys to the game that we